They thought that we would not make it this far, Dane. But look at us now. We are now of legal podcast age. This is episode 21.
How many months is 21 episodes?
We started in January, and it's
Did we
in May
really?
now. Yeah, remember we started the very first week.
That's crazy.
We recorded the end of December for our first episode, which released beginning of January. We are in May now.
That's unbelievable.
No one thought we would do this.
I didn't think we'd do
People
this.
didn't think we'd do it in the first place.
Yeah.
And now we're 21 episodes in.
Only the haters thought that.
Man, haters, look at us.
Look at us, haters.
I mean, you won't hear us because you're haters and you're probably not listening to our podcast, but that just means you are missing out on arguably the greatest thing in Southwest Missouri. Actually, scratch that. The world.
The world.
The greatest thing is happening right here on the Until Next Week podcast.
Yeah.
Dane's shirtless. I'm not. Keep listening.
I'm talking to you, Lindsay Reed.
Yeah, we're back. Episode 21 of the Until Next Week podcast. And Dane, how you feeling?
Enthusiastic.
That was a nice, enthusiastic delay. I'm very grateful you're feeling enthusiastic.
It's happening.
What's happening? What's happening?
I have a Tony Romo jersey.
Enthusiasm?
I have a Tony Romo
You
jersey.
always have a Tony Romo jersey in your vicinity. Like last week you had one. This week you had one. Like, why do you like failure so much?
He doesn't fail. He was let down by the franchise.
Okay. Is that how you talk about Aaron Rodgers as well?
Aaron Rodgers sucks a mean one. He's really bad at his job.
No, he's awesome. He's a
I
great
hate
quarterback.
Aaron
I'm
Rodgers.
actually pretty excited, though, about Jordan Love. The Jordan Love era that's about to come up in Green Bay. People think you're going to be horrible. I'm like, I am way too optimistic. Just like I have been about the Cardinals season, how they've been playing much better as of late, and they really have a strong potential going forward.
Maybe.
Because their division is horrible. But I feel the same way about the Packers. I don't think the Lions will be able to redo what they did last year. I think the Vikings were really exposed, and I think the Bears are just the Bears. They're trash.
I saw this podcast from Detroit Lions fans. They were like, if we go into Kansas City week 1 and we beat them, we have arrived. We're that team.
Yeah,
I'm like, shut up.
And then the Chiefs podcast were like, did you see these guys?
That's exactly what's happening. I'm even saying that. I'm not a Chiefs fan.
You know, they won the Super Bowl because they're very dominant, and they just seem to get better each year somehow.
They've been to 3 Super Bowls in 5 years.
Yeah,
And I'm
it's
like,
kind of
that's
ridiculous at this
pretty good.
point. But yeah, there's no way the Lions are better than the Chiefs. The Chiefs are still dominant, but the Packers
Lions are good.
The Packers will beat them in the Super Bowl, though.
Dang it.
Not the Lions, the Chiefs.
Jordan
or the
Love,
Jets.
I picked up Jordan Love just in case on one of my Dynasty fantasy teams.
I think it could be interesting what
It's
he does.
just in case, but
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
I don't want him to be on somebody else's team if he goes off.
And you know, speaking of being on someone else's team, did you hear that Ed Sheeran is transitioning to country music? Maybe.
Transitioning
Yes, to country music.
to country music.
Yes. So he might be changing teams going forward. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on this?
My first thought is, aren't we all? Kidding.
I don't even know. I don't even want to ask anymore. I don't know what was happening there. But yeah.
As the biggest country music fan on this podcast,
Yeah. You've been to more country music concerts.
I've been to 2.
You've only been to 2 concerts. Were they both country?
They were both country. It was Tom
Okay.
Shret and John Party.
Okay, because I went to Carrie Underwood back in like 2006,
You went-
07 range.
You went to my wife's.
Yeah. In Branson,
Concert?
Missouri,
She was in Branson.
at a venue that is now an aquarium.
Huh.
Yeah, that one random venue in Branson.
Could
But
be
yeah,
anywhere.
I saw her like 06, 07, like shortly after she won, I was about to say the Super Bowl, which is funny because now she does that.
Sunday Night Football.
Are you ready for Sunday night?
That's her best song.
Yeah, apparently it's gone like double platinum or something.
I love her.
Crazy. I can't think of really been at any other country music concerts off the top of my head.
Top of the dome.
Yeah, I usually go more of the rap, Christian, pop,
Kind of indie.
Taylor Swift, Lecrae, NF,
You've been to Need to Breathe.
Lauren Daigle. Need to Breathe. Ben Rector. Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we talked about how I met Ben Rector, and I think I'll be on his Instagram feed, or maybe I don't know. I should be on there at some point.
Yeah.
Maybe when you're listening to this, I've already been posted on there. But he, when I originally met him, he's been posting on his Instagram about him going into the stands, and he interviews fans, and there's someone in the distance who videotapes the interaction. Because I was confused when I ran into him, because I'm like, I see him interviewing someone with a microphone,
Interviewing
but
no
there
one.
is no camera. But he's already posted at least one video from that tour. or that show specifically, but it was someone else I didn't realize he interviewed, which makes me kind of disappointed because if I would have been there like 5 minutes earlier, I would have been interviewed by Min Rector.
Maybe.
That would have been cool.
They got there like
that would have really wrecked
an hour
her
earlier.
or wrecked me. But yeah, I'm just kind of looking forward to seeing if I do get posted on one of his videos on Instagram. Again, it won't be anything I'm saying. It'll just be me in the background, and he'll be interviewing someone else. But it'll be cool if I get posted on his Instagram for what would be a 4th time.
Wow.
Because each time he does a concert, he posts a video of the crowd. I've been in all 3, 2 more prominently than the 3rd, but this could be the 4th. I'm becoming a big factor on his... Why have I been posted on his Instagram more than your Instagram, Dane?
Well, mostly because I don't care about posting you on my Instagram.
Okay, that's valid. That's valid.
Most men don't make my Instagram.
Okay, that's understandable.
Only my father.
But
he makes it a lot.
There you go. But I think we got off a little bit because we're talking about Ed Sheeran transitioning to country music.
Right. Wonderful genre.
He had like an interview recently and basically said, I would love to transition to country. I love the culture of it. I just love the songwriting. It's just like brilliant songs. And I guess it went on to say that Sheeran credited his longtime friend Taylor Swift, friend of the pod, for his interest in country music. So I think it'd be interesting if he would make that transition because I do like his music and I think he could be good in the country music scene.
He could, yeah. It's weird because
he's redhead.
Yeah, thank you for not using the G word.
Yep.
But no, Taylor is not a country artist anymore.
But she was.
She was, yeah. And still, actually, well...
She still sings country music at her concerts.
Yeah, which is cool. However, she does not make any more country music of my knowledge, except for Better Man for Little Big Town, which is fantastic. And then when she released her Taylor's version of that, I like Little Big Town's version better. However, still a solid version out of it.
And you're just like, you belong with me.
I've said that to her many times on this podcast, and still waiting to hear back from her.
Yeah, and each time we mention it, Lindsay, your sister, mentions like, "Why are you doing this?"
Well,
and
Lindsay doesn't understand.
Yeah, I mean, it's Taylor Swift.
Yeah, come on, Lindsay.
Who cares?
Lindsay,
it's Taylor Swift. Please be on our podcast. I want to meet you at some point in my life.
Lindsay, you don't want Taylor Swift as your sister-in-law?
That would be pretty dope.
That would be crazy.
Yep. And the worst case scenario, you have a song written about you. And then you could tell people like, yeah, this is written about me. Yeah. And it's like, oh, she's really going hard. This is actually when she made her transition to a rap career. That's how explicitly she defined your relationship. That's how bad it was.
She's also one of my favorite actresses of all time.
Is this just because of the Valentine's Day or something?
I love that movie.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
What? Lane loves that movie. Lane, do you love that movie?
Lane's in the distance again. Lane, friend of the pod, lives in the house that is sponsored by Jake Trustin, and he put a thumbs down. I also saw a clip the other day. I guess not Mean Girl. What's
Mean
that
Girls
show?
is great.
No, what's that TV show? Which the person from Elf?
Will Ferrell?
No, the girl.
The Mean Girl?
Yeah, no, the Blondie.
Blondie?
What? New Girl.
Oh,
that's the show. I guess she
Zooey
was on,
Deschanel.
Yeah, I guess Taylor Swift was on like the season finale of that like years ago, and I saw a clip the other day. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool.
Clayton Kershaw was on New Girl.
That's so random.
Because Jess, which is Zooey Deschanel, says, and I want to be an astronaut. Wait, no, that happened afterwards. But she goes, I don't know what I'm saying. Maybe I want to take back my I love you. I love you, L.A. And then Clayton Kershaw turns around from behind her and goes, and I love you. Hi, Clayton Kershaw. I'm a Los Angeles Dodger. And she goes, and I'm a Los Angeles astronaut. Thank you. Goodbye. And then that was it.
That's great. I miss those like old days of TV, especially with like a Disney Channel, like the Sweet Life of Zach and Cody or Sweet Life on Deck.
Oh, that's
when like Dwight Howard would be on there like all the time.
Yeah.
And they would have like other random NBA players and just like chilling. Or
it's back when life was simple.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson was on like Corey in the House, I think.
Which was overly hated.
It was a good show.
It was okay.
I mean, it was after That's So Raven, so they had all the hype from That's So Raven, then they went the Corey in the House, but you had The Rock on there. You
Disney
can't beat
Channel
that.
Was solid. However, I still watch clips of Drake and Josh. I love
it's
Drake
so
and Josh.
Great. It's so good.
I think as I get older, it gets funnier.
It's a great show, and I miss that show. It was so good. I used to watch it like all the time.
I still watch clips on YouTube, or not YouTube, TikTok. It's great.
That really is great. But yeah, so Ed Sheeran transitioning to country music again. Talking about Lots of random stuff. I don't even really know.
Is he gonna do anything with Luke Combs? Maybe.
He did recently. He did a new version of a song. I guess "A Life Goes On." Was that a Luke Combs song originally?
I don't know. I haven't listened to either.
I'm not positive, but yeah, I guess he released a version. So we haven't listened yet. So maybe his country twang is already there. We'll see.
He's working on it. We're also working on it. I'm a great country singer.
But yeah, I'm kind of excited to see what he does. He's a very talented artist, and I
like Eddie.
Yeah, he's good. I saw some videos where I guess he's been like doing like pop-up concerts, and he just like stands on top of the vehicles like in New York or wherever, and then he performs like an acoustic song. He's like, everybody got to be quiet because he doesn't have like a mic. Yeah, and he just like yells, and it's like, okay, that's kind of cool.
That's kind of weird because when I yell louder when I'm singing, it gets worse.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think it's more just like, hey, everybody be quiet, and I'll sing it like my normal voice.
Right.
But you got to listen to hear it.
New Yorkers typically, given the reaction whenever the Knicks got bounced in the playoffs, they usually do the right thing.
Yeah.
And they don't yell "F you, everybody."
Oh, yeah.
New Yorkers are crazy.
Yeah, and and they always like to talk about like the past and like their greatest like sports achievements because they're like the Yankees were the best. I'm like, well, you haven't won a World Series since 2009. The Mets have not won a World Series since what, like
1986.
Yeah. And then I don't even know what other New York teams are. Jets, they've been a poverty franchise until they got Aaron Rodgers,
Mark Sanchez,
who will help. Oh, okay, Brett Favre.
And Brett Favre.
So they haven't really done anything since then. I mean, the Giants have been back and forth. Like, they were good.
07-12. They won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, randomly with a pretty average quarterback who just happened to win Super Bowls.
Eli is okay. Peyton's awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, they just always like to talk about their greatest sports achievements. So I think for that reason, we need to talk about some of our greatest sports achievements.
Wow.
Dane.
Yeah.
Did you like that transition? I think it was pretty good.
I mean, it's almost as good as Ed transitioning to country music.
Yeah. Oh. That's a callback to like 2 minutes ago, so I hope you enjoyed that right there.
Probably want to listen to it again.
Yeah, but both of Dane and I are extremely athletic, but have many talents and abilities. And
I can't walk.
We just
after 2 weeks ago when I ran that, or I guess 1 week ago.
Yeah, that half marathon kind of killed him way back in the day. He had to get both his legs amputated.
No, I would say leave him.
Oh yeah, yep. He went in there for a physical, and he thought they would maybe amputate his leg, so he had to write on him in Sharpie like, "Don't cut this one." It's like,
these are mine.
We're just making sure you're not like sick or anything. I don't know why you wrote that on your legs.
I don't trust Western medicine.
Oh gosh. Oh, okay. Speaking of that, they officially ended the COVID stuff.
When?
Like a day or two ago. I guess like all like the national COVID deals are like, yeah, it's officially done.
Wow.
Yeah, so I don't think we'll get called out for mentioning COVID on this podcast.
We beat COVID again?
I guess so. We gave it the final knockout punch.
America beat COVID again. Back-to-back World War champs.
Oh, I didn't. Yeah, who knows? But yeah, we figured we'll talk about some greatest sports achievements and maybe go into some other interesting topics later on the pod. But just keep listening. But do you want me to start? You want to start? How do you want this greatest sports achievements to go?
You fire it up.
Okay. As some of you may know, I don't know how much I've talked about it. I swam like my entire life.
In water?
Competed. Yeah, I did. In water. That is true. You swim faster in water than other liquids, most likely.
Debatable, but go ahead.
Yeah, well, we don't need to debate that this week. But I feel like I had several sports achievements with swimming as I went along, and I swam from like age 4 like through college. And there's different like defining moments in my swimming career. One of them I think was when I was like age 12. I went to like my first kind of like quote unquote like big championship meet, and I swam the 50 freestyle, 50 yards, and I got my first dub.
It's yards.
Yeah, it was yards, 50 yards for like short course swimming.
Of course.
And my first big dub came in Wichita, Kansas.
Trash place, but go ahead.
Trash place, but yeah, I won the 50 freestyle. I was pretty hyped up because I'm like, hey, I finally did it. And looking back, it really wasn't that big of a meet. But in my mind, I wasn't like that great yet, so it was pretty significant.
You were on top of the world.
I really was. I felt pretty great. Still have the medals to this day. Have them in a big box that I don't look at. But at that point, it was honestly the beginning of a transition in my swimming career to become much faster, much better.
Beginning of the end.
Yes, beginning of the end. A couple of years later, when I was like age 14, I had another kind of big breakout meet. We had another. We were like in the Arkansas division for our club swimming, so it was called like the Arkansas State meet. Which which is kind of a weird in my mind that it's called state.
So you own Arkansas is what
basically,
you're saying.
as a 14-year-old. And I went off. I think I got like first or second or third like about every event I swam.
Yeah.
And I almost got like the high point award, which means like you did the best overall. But there's another like 14-year-old who, after I looked at it, it was because I think he out-touched me in one race. That's why he had the higher point total, so he got a cool trophy. And looking back, again, it wasn't really that big of a meet, but it was another, just a little block in the swimming career.
Would you like the fans of this podcast to go fight that guy?
I think you should. He probably still lives in Arkansas.
Probably. So just fight everybody who's ever swam in Arkansas.
Jared Crosby.
Oh.
He's a cool guy, but he did beat me in the high point awards. So
never mind.
Some people know who he is.
Dang it.
Cool
Somebody
guy.
has to know.
Cool guy. And then really I feel like the biggest accomplishments for myself, because again, like I was getting better each year, both time wise and just like what my ranking I guess would be like maybe in the nation
600th.
as a whole. Yeah, 700th. So then I went to like high school swimming. It's like really big in Missouri. And that was kind of always...
Is it?
It really is. Like some states it isn't that big, I feel like.
Jeff said he didn't have a swimming team.
Yeah, so it just kind of depends on the state you're in. But I feel like it was always kind of hyped up for me specifically. And my goals originally was just like to make it to state, which I did pretty quickly.
Yeah, you did.
My freshman year, I competed there. And then for my sophomore through senior years, my goal was, hey, I'm just going to qualify for state in every single event. So I did that.
Good.
Yeah, that was kind of fun, just to show my versatility, you know. I'm not a one-trick pony. Yep.
We only have winners on the podcast.
Yeah, only winners. Only winners. So that's why Dane and I are both on here.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yep.
Hey, swimming is a race.
Yep. So then, so really my goal originally was just like to make it to state. And then my goal was like to medal, which means I have to get top 8 at state. And I did that my sophomore year. And then it really led to my junior year of high school when I was really picking up on my speeds for like swimming. And I was able to bring home 2 state championships.
Yes.
Yes. I know. You can do 2 individual events. If you could have done more, I might have won more than 2 state championships.
Wow. We own Missouri.
Yeah, we really do. So I got those medals up still. 100-yard freestyle, 200-yard freestyle. I feel like whenever that happened, I really hit my pinnacle. And I was like, this is really cool.
Pinnacle Sign Company.
Obviously, you always want more, so then I try to do the same thing the next year.
Yeah.
I retained 1 title, but I got second in the other one because some really fast kid broke the state record and went to swim at Arizona State and was very, very successful in life. And then I'm doing a podcast.
Did you go on to swim anywhere?
I went to Missouri State.
Oh!
So that was also like a high point, obviously, like going there. I don't think I ever swam as fast as what I wanted to.
Yeah.
But we still brought home a couple conference championships, and I still had a pretty successful college swimming career. But I think the pinnacle of it all was most likely when I won my first state championship for swimming in high school.
That would be really fun.
So those are some of my greatest swimming sports achievements. Really quick, I used to play baseball as well, and I vividly remember back when I was like 12, I think like 2009, I filled in for like some random baseball team because, you know, occasionally for tournaments, you need extra players.
Sure.
And it was like that first day, I remember we took like some batting practice, and that's when they first kind of saw me, and I was killing.
They're like, wait a second.
Yeah. I was like killing the ball, pulling it very heavy to left, and like, oh, we like this guy. And I think the first games, they had me like batting at the bottom of the lineup, and then I killed the ball. So then the next game, the next day, I think they had me batting around like 5th.
Yeah.
And what happens? I'm batting 5th.
Swinging a drive.
First guy, second guy,
deep
third
left field.
They get on. I don't know. Maybe I was batting 4th, but 3 guys were on, and I
bases juiced.
Hit a dinger. First career home run. Happened to be a grand slam.
Grand salami.
And I was like, you know, we're gonna win this game. I'm doing my job, but they only had me hitting, so I couldn't do anything in the field. I was basically David Ortiz.
Well, yeah.
Right-handed version from Missouri. I'm not from the Dominican Republic.
You're not?
Yep. So it is a podcast. So you can't see everything. But, so I hit the grand slam, super hyped, got the ball, signed it, everything else. Have it to say. Yeah. Just it's a natural thing you do as a baseball player when you're growing up.
Yeah.
But I think the other team ended up tying it up.
Lame.
And then we went to like the last inning. I'm pretty sure we had a guy on second. I came up to bat. I hit a clutch hit, I think, to the outfield. And then, of course, our coach stops a guy at third.
You always
No one has an arm at age 12. So, yeah, they don't send him. His base is loaded. I believe it was 1 out. And then what happens? I think the next guy maybe pops out or lines out, and then the last guy maybe like grounds out. So we, I believe, have a tie game, went to extra innings, end up losing. So we got knocked out of the tournament. And I'm like, I did my job. Where were you guys? And it was on the coach. He was, fun fact, Ollie Marmol.
Wow.
Just kidding.
The similarities are uncanny.
Yeah, this horrible coaching. The St. Louis Cardinals coach, Ollie Marmol.
Fire him.
He was not my coach when I was 12, believe it or not. But it might as well have been. We could have lost with either guys.
True. Fire him. Fire the front office.
Mm-hmm. Fire. Yeah. Fire.
Fire sale.
Fire.
There's a fire.
But yeah, those are kind of my biggest, I think, sports achievements growing up.
Wow.
Dane, what were some of your sports achievements?
Well, once upon a time.
Well, I just want to say one thing. A couple weeks ago or week and a half ago or whatever,
A week ago.
you got like 14th place in the half marathon. Is that it?
That's pretty up there because
Okay.
if I can run a half marathon, I can do anything.
Okay. But
Go to space.
what are some other sports achievements you may have had?
So this is really quite like 16-fold, but
Okay.
in fifth grade, I was quarterbacking our fifth grade team, the South Tigers, to a 5-0-1 undefeated season.
Yeah.
That was great. And then after that, I was the starting point guard on our basketball team at Southwest Elementary School, and I dropped 23 on Cedar Hill.
Whoa, 23. So you went full LeBron James or Michael Jordan on them with those 23 points.
I was 10 years old dropping 23 on people. It was great. And that was awesome. My friends always make fun of me for telling those stories. And then probably in high school, two of my greatest feats was in tennis. We were playing Glendale, and in tennis you play. So there's a top 6 is varsity.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
you play doubles, 3 matches of doubles. That counts as 3. Each win is 1. And then you play 6 individual singles matches, each counting as 1. So best of 9 essentially.
Yeah.
And we go down 2-1 after doubles. And we're like,
Say it so.
We're like, frick, we needed to win this. Now we have to go out there and win. What would that be? In order to get to 5, we needed to win 4 of the 6 singles.
Yeah.
Which, not a great position to put ourselves in because they only have to win 3. And their number 1 player is a nationally
Roger
ranked player.
Federer.
Pretty much.
Rafael Nadal.
The same
Serena
guy.
Williams. Venus Williams.
All in one.
Dane Biesmeyer.
Dane Biesmeyer.
One of those people do not belong.
I was not number 1.
It's Venus.
On our team. Venus.
Venus is the one that did not belong because her name starts with V.
That's so true. But the number 1 on Glendale's team is nationally ranked, and he's smacking our number 1 down.
Yeah.
And he loses. And then our number 2 loses. They're 1 win away from...
And you have 4 to go.
We have to win 3, 4, 5, and 6 in order to win this match.
I don't think it's possible.
It wasn't. And then 6 wins easily. And because he's playing somebody trash. 5 wins easily. And I'm like, okay. And then I have a little bit different like showing emotion. Whenever things are going right, I get really quiet. And I don't say a whole lot. But the number 3 guy, who was one of my best friends in high school, he gets animated so loud. Let's go! Going crazy. And I hear a absolutely absurd one on the other side of the courts. And I'm like, okay, I think he just won his match over there. And then I see people start moving over to us.
Does that
I'm
mean
like,
it's only you?
it's down to me, tied
Okay.
at 4. And I'm like, this is crazy. And we had split our sets because you play 2 sets. If one guy wins both sets, that's it. If not, you go to a tiebreaker. And so I lost the first set. I did that a lot in high school. I would lose the first set as I'm learning how this guy likes to play.
Yeah, of course.
And then I would come roaring back in the second set, win that. And then you go to a 10-point tiebreaker, 1st to 10.
Okay.
And then being in so many tiebreakers, I learned how to play that. You just come out aggressive. And then it comes down very anticlimactically. He double faults to lose the match.
Let's go!
Everybody. But
You did it, Dave.
But I won.
Woo!
And it was great. And
You won because of his failure.
and they were the number 3 ranked team in the state, and we beat them to become the number 3 ranked team in the state. It was great. And then later on that season, we beat the team that got 3rd at state. But we didn't go to state because the team...
You're too good.
No, the team that got 2nd at state every year was in our districts.
That's rough.
Yeah.
That's rough.
Every year. We were easily the 3rd best team in the state multiple years. And... they were in our districts, so Rockbridge, they always would win. And they would lose to Rockhurst in the championship every year.
Battle of the Rocks.
Yeah, it's like we never got to go to state. It's crazy, even though we were great.
That honestly is a pretty amazing, greatest sports achievement. But I heard that you might have also had some baseball achievements back in the day.
For sure.
What do you think your number one baseball achievement would have been?
Well,
I mean, I feel like it would have to be more than just impressing yourself.
well, yeah, and because I impressed the entire crowd with this.
Ooh.
Because in freshman year of high school, this is a little bit of a different time than what I have written down here. It's the championship game for our summer league, and we're scheduled to play the best team in the league who had not lost a game all year. Then when they played us, we got absolutely hornswoggled by them.
Wait, what was that?
Hornswoggled.
I've never heard that
You've
phrase.
never heard that?
No, I've never been hornswoggled.
Good. But we got spanked by them during the regular season. It was
You were
not good.
hornswoggled and spanked.
It was not good.
Okay.
But then the championship game comes around, and they are not showing up at game time. Game time's 7. They're not there. 7:30. They're not there.
And your greatest sports achievement is them not showing up, so you won by default.
No.
Oh.
The umpires are like, "What do you guys want to do?" We're like, "Wow." We're like, "I don't know. We're giving like 30 minutes because it wasn't my decision." And the moms are like, "Dan, what do you want to do?" I was like, "I want to play this bleeping game." and then soon after that, the coach comes over to me and goes, "Hey, Dane, by the way, you're starting tonight." I was like, "What?" All season, I'd come in from mop-up duty. I wasn't really a pitcher. I always played shortstop. And I was like, "I'm starting?" He goes, "Yeah, we kind of need to try something different." And I talked to the coach that just lost to this team, and he said that a guy with similar to your style of pitching kind of gave them some fits in the semifinal game. I'm like, okay. So I go out there, and I throw 5 innings of, it was like 2-hit, 1-run ball. And we had lost this team, for example, earlier in the season, 17-6. And so them putting up 1 run over five innings in me was crazy. And then I got elected MVP. We won the championship. It was great.
You are only, when I look at you, I only see sports achievements.
Exactly.
That's all I see. I only see success. And I think that's why you get asked, like, be on like the soccer team that you played on back in the day.
Of course.
Why you play basketball at the place we cannot be named.
Yeah, unless you want to join.
Really just about any other sports-related thing, and that's why you get invited to it.
I've also been described as maniacally competitive.
I can see that.
It's borderline unhealthy. It really is if there's competition. But I have to win. So there we are.
That really... That's good. I really like to see how we both have great achievements, how we both like to win. And you know what we also like to win? We like to win...
Six Flags tickets?
No. When we do... I can't... That was a horrible transition. Dang it. We're going to draft stuff.
We like to win at the draft.
We like to win at our drafts that you obviously all vote for in your mind.
Obviously.
And we're going to draft the most overrated things. I didn't really have a better way to explain that, but like places, activities, people, whatever. If it's overrated, you can name it.
Something people like that you hate.
Yeah. And we'll draft, let's say, our top 4 each.
Perfect.
And then if you want to be great until next week, podcast listeners, you'll first leave us 5 stars on Spotify or Apple Podcast.
Or 6 stars.
And also probably leave us like a written review on Apple Podcasts. That would be pretty dope.
I can write.
And then if you want to let us know in those comments or through Instagram DM or whatever else who you think had a better list, let us know, because we both are highly competitive and want to know who did better.
This will be a little difficult because should I go with what I think people would want to?
No, you go with what you think,
All
and
right.
then people honestly would just be judging you.
This is gonna be a pretty hot topic.
So yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I think you went first last time, didn't you?
Probably. You're definitely not picking my number 1. So
Okay. So we'll draft the top 4. I'm by a default going to go first.
That's fine.
Just because of that reason. You can go first next time if we remember.
Yeah.
And for my first overall pick, this might not be relevant to everybody, but I think a good amount of people. Whataburger.
Interesting.
It is an interesting pick.
I like
We've
it.
been getting a lot of Whataburgers recently in Missouri. A lot of that is because of
Springfield.
Patrick Mahomes is like, I like Whataburger.
Bring
I'm like,
it here.
well, you also like ketchup on steak. So
Yeah, that's true.
not a great reason.
Patrick Mahomes is a whack job.
He's a great quarterback, though. But yeah, we've went from 0 Whataburgers in Springfield, Missouri to around, let's say...
At least 3.
at least 3, maybe 4.
Maybe.
I've been to Whataburger 2 times in my life. One time was in a freshman year of college, January 2017. Went to Olive Garden for dinner.
Yeah.
Last day of a training trip, and we're like, hey, all the guys, we're going to get on the bus with our bus driver. We're going to Whataburger.
Dang it.
We went there. We made like a music video. It's kind of funny.
Dang it.
And then I had a burger. Very average. Should have got the honey butter chicken biscuit because I believe that's what most people say is the best item there.
says that.
Which is weird because it's called Whataburger. Why should it not be What a Chicken Biscuit?
That doesn't roll off the tongue. That's why.
Yeah, and you know what also doesn't roll off the tongue? Good taste, because Whataburger is not great. I went there again when they opened one of the locations in Republic, which is right next to Springfield, Missouri. I had to wait in line for like an hour.
Yeah.
And then had this, again, a very, very average burger. There are so many better options out there, but then people are like, oh, Whataburger, this is so good. I'm so happy. This is amazing. I'm like, you just don't have good taste. Like, what are you doing? And for those reasons, I'm out. That's just my number one.
I thought
most
Whataburger was
overrated.
okay.
Yeah, but do you think it deserves like all the hype?
No, like it doesn't. But it's like I went to it for the first time the same time you around the time you went there, in Republic, and I was like, it's okay, but I'm like, I'm not blown away by it.
Yeah, I don't feel like I need to make a special trip over there.
I mean, sometimes I do, but now that it's in Springfield, I won't have to. So
Yeah.
I did whenever it was brand new, and I was like, I need to try this.
Yeah,
but
yeah. I think it's just because of all the people who just go crazy over it. I'm like, it doesn't deserve all the crazy hype that you're giving it.
True.
I do have a Whataburger blanket though,
Okay.
but the reason is it was free. I wouldn't have bought it otherwise.
Blasphemy.
Yeah. But that's my number one most overrated item that currently popped in my head. So let's go with your next 2 most overrated items.
Number 1,
Dane.
You're gonna have a lot of outrage towards this.
If you say what I think you're about to say, I might just cancel you.
What
right
do you think
here.
I'm gonna say? I want to hear.
I don't think you would say it, but if you're about to say Chick-fil-A, I'll be mad.
No.
Okay,
not
good,
gonna say it.
good. I would have had
Chick-fil-A is not overrated. I just don't like how people always want to go there.
It's so good.
I'm like, it's good, but what everybody ever hang out with is like, you go to Chick-fil-A, go to Chick-fil-A. Guys, somewhere different, please.
But it's so good. It is so good.
It's good, but
Yeah.
I'm like, guys.
There are other options, obviously,
Yeah.
but it is good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my number 1, personally, it's coffee. I hate coffee.
Go farther. I want to hear this.
It's not tasty. It is expensive, and if you put anything in it, it still doesn't become good. And I'm like, I can get the exact same thing from a Mountain Dew and be 10 times happier. And Mountain Dew's cheaper.
I think you're just not getting the right coffee.
I've tried it so many different ways. It's not good.
I think so. What I usually do, because I'd agree there is really bad coffee out there.
Yeah.
Especially if you get like a lot of people, especially like around college, get this like crappy coffee.
Yeah.
Like, here's some good Folgers. I'm like, that is trash. Like the only reason you're drinking this is for the caffeine.
Folgers in your
But
cup.
I feel like if you go to like a good local coffee shop and then get coffee, don't drink it black because
Ew.
that's just dumb. But you get like some milk or cream in there, and then ideally you get honey instead of sugar.
Ew.
It is pretty satisfying. That is nice. But there are some coffees that aren't great. I don't get people's love for like Starbucks and stuff because that's
Starbucks is
straight. It's just
disgusting.
like straight sugar. It's really expensive. Like I wouldn't do that
Yeah.
unless it was like free or something.
I disagree with everything you're saying. Coffee's trash, and I'm never drinking it again.
Okay,
And I
that's
won't
your pick.
stand for anybody who does. That's why I'm sitting.
Okay. Well, that's your number 1 overall pick. Who are you going with number 2?
Number 2. Oh, this one's going to get you going again.
Okay.
This is not intentional. I genuinely feel this way about these 2 things.
Okay.
Swimming.
Honestly, you might be surprised, but keep going.
Swimming is not fun. So whenever I list my biggest fears in life, my top 5 biggest fears, it goes snakes, women, spiders, commitment, swimming.
And when they happen all at the same time, ooh, that can be rough. You know, you have the spiders on the side of the pool, you have women swimming, and you have everything else. It can be a mess, you know?
But swimming, not good. I'm not scared of swimming. However, whenever I go swimming, I get sunburnt. Now I have to apply sunscreen. If I don't remember to do that, I have to apply aloe vera. And then I'm also have all this chlorine on me. I have a headache now. And my skin's dry. And then I already showered today. And the only way to get the chlorine off me is to shower again. And I'm like, oh my goodness. And if I swim in a lake, lakes are dirty.
I was about to bring that up.
Yeah, lakes are dirty.
You don't think the normal pool's dirty?
It's
Do
less
you know why
dirty.
the chlorine stings? It's because people pee and sweat in there.
Well, that's because I don't pee in there.
You pee while running.
Yeah.
Throw back to last week's episode in case you couldn't figure it out.
I can neither confirm nor
Yep,
deny
yep.
if that is true. However, it might be true.
But
But not in my pants.
what?
I told you this.
This for a split second, you're like, not in my pants. I'm like, huh?
I told you the story.
Yeah,
already.
yeah. We don't need to go into it too much. Yeah, we can let the people guess.
But yeah, swimming, not fun. It's overrated. Like, if you want to chill by the pool, like on a summer night or whatever, get your feet wet, okay, whatever.
Even that's kind of overrated.
Yeah.
I actually kind of agree with you, and that's mainly because I swam so much growing up. Like, I would be swimming 15 to 20 hours a week for literally like 15 years.
Yeah.
So when people are like, yeah, let's go swimming, I'm like, that doesn't sound really that fun to me. Or like sitting by the pool,
Yeah.
not really that fun. I am more of a fan, like I mentioned before, how like going on the lake and like tubing and doing stuff in the water.
Yeah, that's
I like
fun.
doing like activities in the water. I think that's fun. But I think swimming,
Tubing's fun, yeah.
just in and as itself, or me jumping off the diving board, I don't think that's that fun. You got to have people. You got to be doing other things in the water, like water baseball or water polo or something like an activity. If you're just going swimming for the sake of swimming, I don't think it's very fun.
It's not fun.
Yeah, yeah. So if you're doing other stuff and with other people, it can be fun. Otherwise, it's a no for me. So
Trash
actually, I
can
kind of agree with you.
emoji.
So two different things you thought I would be completely against. I am not completely against.
Yeah, coffee sucks. Swimming also sucks.
Okay. Okay. This honestly could get some people going.
Oh, no.
And this could get you going.
Get us canceled.
My number 2 overall pick, Target.
I like Target.
I'm not opposed to Target also, but I do think it's overrated because people are like,
underrated.
no, it's overrated. People just go nuts, especially females, especially like are in college age. Yep.
Whoa.
Hey, I'm not wrong.
Didn't say you were.
Target in general is just a more expensive Walmart.
Well, yeah.
So why would you spend more and get the same when you could spend less and get the same?
Because you don't get the same. You get better things there.
Not if you're getting like groceries or something.
I get pillows there sometimes. Why would you get groceries at Target?
I don't know. Some people do. It's
Those
kinda
people
dumb.
are whack.
But for the most part, everything's more expensive. The main reason I go in the Target is to see if they have like sports cards because I like that. But I would still go into Walmart for the same thing because their prices are about the same. I just want a different option. But Target in and as itself, I think it's kind of cool, but I don't think it's really worth the hype. Like some people are like, oh my gosh, let's just go to Target forever. And like, I mean, I'll go in and see if there's like a couple things I need, but for the most part, I would go to Walmart to get most of my items. Plus, it's more of an adventure at Walmart. You don't know who you'll see.
Vinyl records from Target.
You can get the ones at Walmart too, probably for cheaper.
They're always weirder.
Also,
always Nirvana. Always.
Or you could just go on Amazon and get them drastically cheaper.
I do that a lot, yes.
Or Amazon or eBay.
I go on eBay mostly.
A lot of times I would prefer just to go online for those kind of items.
Okay. We had to take Amazon out of this because I shop on Amazon way more than any store ever.
Yeah, it's good. But I mean, I'm not opposed to Target.
Right.
But I think kind of with like Whataburger, I think it's hyped more than what it actually is. It's basically just a more trendy Walmart.
I think the girls might set your house on fire.
It's okay. We need more girl listeners. So
we do need more girl listeners.
This could maybe get them. Taylor Swift hasn't got them enough, so hopefully our Target slander will.
Slander.
Yep. Another one. I'm just trying to get all the girls riled up right now.
No.
My number 3 pick for most overrated item. I actually just changed it. I was about to say one thing. I was going to say TikTok.
Ooh, that's hot.
It is
love TikTok.
But I'm actually changing it to Snapchat.
Yes.
So Snapchat.
Speak louder, Samuel.
Yeah. See, that's why I changed it.
Yeah.
I almost went to TikTok. I'm like,
so much
wait.
agree with
Snapchat's better.
Snapchat is
for
trash.
this pick. I got into Snapchat, I think back in high school a little bit, and I did a good amount, but then it got to the point where I was just like sending people streaks for the sake of sending streaks.
Yeah.
And it's like pointless.
What are we proving with this?
When people send pictures, like, I know you sent that to 18 people. Like,
yeah.
What do you care? You're just doing it for the number. I'm like, this is dumb. Like like I agree. Sometimes there are positives and there are cool things, but then other times I'm like, it's no one really cares. You're just sending like a quick picture, and like the amount of times I've seen people send Snapchats and they're like click 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 click, and like send to like 8 people. I'm like, it's dumb. Like it's so dumb. I'd rather it be messaging like over text or like some other messaging app or something else, because Snapchat's just not worth it, and it controls you so much, because it got to the point where I legitimately had a streak that was over 1,000. And I had another one with someone else that was like hundreds, but then he stopped using Snapchat like altogether, so we stopped that one. Had the other one going. I'm like, I don't want to deal with this anymore. It's not worth it. So
you're kind of glad when it ends.
I got rid of it, and then honestly just like kept my account but deleted the app. I think I've maybe downloaded the app like 2 times over the past 3-4 years just to literally like look up like one thing, and I delete it again. But it's just not. I think it's way overrated.
It's super overrated. The kids only talk on it, and I'm like, guys, be like just slightly more mature. All I want to do is be able to remember what I last said in our text.
Yeah, sometimes like I don't know what I said. We have no context here.
I have no idea what I said. You responded 3 hours later to what I said, and I have no idea what that was.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Snapchat, and I think it honestly is really overrated. I'm surprised it's lasted as long as it has. And I think it's actually grown a lot lately. And I'm like, this is bad.
Streaks are worth what? Nothing. They're worth nothing.
It literally is controlling you. Because there was times I legit got like anxiety, like, oh my gosh, did I send this snap? Like we have this streak that's going for hundreds of days. I'm like, and then I just send them like, oh, I'm good. Is this really worth it?
I don't know over 600 one time.
And
so
something else stupid about Snapchat. So I had 2 streaks going at the same time, and one was like in the hundreds, and the other one was like a little less. But what's dumb about Snapchat is the one that was less eventually surpassed the one that was more.
That doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't. And they kept going, and it literally surpassed it. So I don't know what's the deal with their algorithm or what happens with their streak count, but it's not actually like days, because one was legitimately like 50 plus days ahead, and then it got passed. I'm like, this is stupid. The streaks are worthless.
The only thing Snapchat did well was when they had the best friends list, and people got in so much trouble over that in high school.
I don't think I ever had like any controversy there, but it reminded me of something that I heard about, like I think MySpace. Maybe you could like rank your top like 5 or 10 friends,
and
goodness. It's like, oh, that's not bad. You're just ranking people. So it's like, I got knocked out of your top 10 list for Becky.
You're just ranking human beings. What?
Yeah. So MySpace was going to be my pick. Sorry, but I went with Snapchat.
No more MySpace.
Okay, but is now no longer MySpace, but it's your space to talk.
Dang it, no.
So who are you going with for your final 2 overrated anythings?
Man, I'm trying to think of one. Like, this is overrated, but I don't necessarily full-heartedly agree with this. But it is overrated.
Okay.
Rap music.
Okay. What? Explain yourself.
Well, rap music, I'm just like, some of the popular things that like we used to listen to, and slash that are currently being produced. I'm like, what are we doing, people? Like, last night we or somebody had a playlist that was called like absurd twerking music.
Oh, I made that myself.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, okay. And then
back it up, Terry.
Dang it. People have asked me, well, Danny, if you don't like rap music, what music you like? Country music, obviously. Well, why do you feel that country music is better than rap music? I feel that way because country music tells a good story. And by that, I mean, rap music can do that.
Are you saying wiggle, 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 wiggle? Rap is not a good story?
That's what I'm talking about, man. I'm like, don't drop that dun-dun-dun.
Hey.
What?
Hey, no, you don't drop that dun-dun-dun.
I know. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense.
Hey, Wobble Baby.
Wobble was a good song back in the day.
That's good. Yeah.
But no, there's some rap music that's okay and good. Like Drake had a song, I can't remember what it was called, but I liked it. And but then there's Christian rap music that I like, obviously.
Lecrae.
Lecrae. But for the most part, like all this mainstream rap music, Post Malone is trash. I don't care. He looks like a homeless man.
I don't feel like he's that hard on the rap game. I think he kind of goes more pop with a lot of stuff. And I think he does have some good music. Like Sunflower?
No.
That's quality.
Like a sunflower. Trash.
He's good.
Trash.
And then he loves Olive Garden. He had that video with Jimmy Fallon a few years back where they went to the Olive Garden and he was like, Jimmy, this is my favorite restaurant. And then they brought him like salad and bread. It's like, yeah, we don't pay for any of this. And they brought him like wine samples. And then they was like, hey, I need extra croutons. They brought him like a giant basket, like laundry tote of croutons. It's like, yeah, this is all free.
That's way too much.
He's just a cool guy. He's a solid
much.
dude. But yeah, keep going.
Anybody with face tattoos, there's no way you have a day job.
That's why he's a rap/pop artist.
Exactly. That's your only career at that point. Oh, man. But for my last and final pick, I'm going to pass to you while I think of one.
No, you can't do that. It is yours.
Because you're thinking
I'm
of one.
thinking too.
Okay. I'm going to pick reading.
Okay.
Reading is overrated because I've always aspired to be a reader, and that's whatever. Like, but people who are like, oh my goodness, I just want to snuggle up with a good book. No, you don't. Like, what you want to do is watch a good movie, or like get on TikTok, get on whatever, and like go be around family and friends. Like book reading is like, it's so hard because I also get distracted myself because I'll read, then I get like sidetracked in my brain, and then I'm like, what did I just read? Some people call that ADHD. I call it intuition. But I'm just like, man, like reading puts me to sleep too. Like that's why I do it every night. It calms me down, sure, but I'm like, I don't find it fun per se. The only thing I do consistently is I read the Bible, which is every day.
Amen.
But it's not easy. Like it's called a discipline for a reason, because disciplines should not be easy necessarily.
Okay.
So reading, not fun.
Yes, going along with reading, I mean, I do actually want to be a better reader because I think there are a lot of benefits to it, but
Sure.
I have a problem where I buy a lot of books and don't read a lot of books.
I do the same.
The amount of books I've pre-ordered and then have had sitting on my shelf for like over a year, I'm like, that's probably not good.
I've been reading the same book for months now, and I'm on page 51.
It's funny. It's kind of funny because I started a book that I last read part of at the end of 2021, and it was called Atomic Habits. It was talking about making better habits in your life.
Dang it.
And then I didn't finish the book.
Exactly. I've finished several books. However, that's because I would force myself to read several minutes in a day, and I'm just like, I could be doing anything else that's way more fun.
I think it is a good habit to have, and if you do it consistently, then I think you learn to appreciate it more, but you just got to build that habit. I don't know. I wish I would be a better reader. I think it would be good for me, a lot better than staring at my phone.
That's why a lot of people say that. They wish they would be a better reader. But if people actually wish that, they would be a better reader.
I mean, it's just building the habits first and then kind of going from there.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I like your picks.
Yeah.
I'm going back the food route for my number 4 overall pick.
If you say Taco Bell, I'm going to lose it.
No, Taco Bell's amazing. I
It's
go there
amazing.
way too much. The other day they had a discount where if you buy gift cards, you get 15% off. So I was like, okay, I'll buy a $100 gift card. So then it's $85.
Yeah.
So it's like I got an automatic 15% discount on everything. I should have bought more.
Yeah.
Taco Bell's amazing though. I love it so much.
love
Thank
you.
you,
I mean,
Taco
Taco
Bell. But yeah, for my number 4 overall pick, I'm going to go with Jimmy John's.
Yeah, Jimmy John's is trash.
The amount of times, I mean, I could go, I think, a lot of restaurants here, but Jimmy John's, especially, I feel like I first like witnessed it kind of like in high school swimming. They're like, okay, because usually like Subway's to go to. They're like, yeah, we're going to go to Jimmy John's. I'm like, Jimmy John's is the most plain bread, most bland everything.
Oh my, yeah.
Like, it is just not that good. And some people just love it. I'm like, back then especially, Subway had like the $5 footlongs.
Yeah.
Subway had better options. Subway was better there for sub restaurants. And then in college, once again, like usually, again, we would go like the Subway route, but occasionally we would get Jimmy John's. I'm like, this is so bland and average.
It's disgusting.
Yeah, and then, I mean, I got to the point eventually where I was able to change out enough items on my sub where it made it bearable. But
Shouldn't be that hard.
Part, it was just like, this is so incredibly average. And like, I obviously like enjoy all food for the most part, but I wouldn't choose to go to Jimmy John's unless I had like a coupon, or obviously in college they're paying for it, so that's why we get it. But
yeah, if they're paying for it, it's a way different
there's
story.
way better options. I would rather go to Subway, which isn't as good as what it used to be, and the prices have raised a ton.
Subway sucks.
But even it's pretty good, but it's not as good as what it used to be.
I'll go to Firehouse Subs or Mr. Good Sense over both of those.
So Firehouse Subs
used to
is
be
better.
goated.
But I think their prices are a little bit higher. But now it might be pretty even.
Probably.
Low key, a really good sub shop, which I didn't even have until probably
like my junior year of college. Jersey Mike's.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, so they have like one of the giant like meat slicers and like cheese slicers. So whenever you order your sandwich, you have the fresh cut meat, fresh cut cheese, and then they just have like really high quality bread. They have fresh ingredients, and then they have a thing called like Mike's Way, which is like, I don't know, they have like put like oil and like all these other things on your sandwich. That just not like car oil, but like oil you can eat.
Yeah, well, not like Michael Fuller.
Yeah.
But
But yeah, it's just really high quality sandwiches. Like they have really good food. I don't go there enough because there's only like 2 locations in Springfield.
Where are they?
One's great content for podcast listeners who've never been to Springfield.
In Ireland.
One's on Battlefield Road, which is
perfect.
pretty far away from where we work. Because we're both like kind of the north side of town.
True.
And then the other one I think is on Glenstone, like Glenstone and Sunshine. I kind of forget about that location.
Oh, okay. That's not too bad for me either.
But yeah, they have really high quality subs. Like I first had it.
What's your order there?
Summer 2019 during a swim meet. I'm like, this is really good.
Yeah.
I haven't been there in a while because it's just not very convenient. But I probably just get like their club sandwich, and then I get it Mike's Way, which is like with the oils and like some seasonings and stuff.
Italian
and it is
seasoning.
High quality subs. It is the best on the sub game right now.
I might go there for
Fast
dinner.
food subs. Yeah, I highly recommend it. Very good. But yeah.
Wow.
Jimmy John's overrated.
Yeah, I've been there once. Not good. Very bland. Super slow if you go in the store.
So freaky fast. No, it's not.
Hey, no, you're not. Yeah.
But yeah, those are our most overrated picks. I'll recap them really quick so you can let us know what you think was better. I had Whataburger, Target, Snapchat, and Jimmy John's. And then Dane had coffee, swimming, rap music, and what was your other one?
It was reading.
Reading, yeah.
You just put overrated.
I was probably talking and I wrote the wrong thing. I'm like, what did you pick? But yeah, that was our draft. I hope you enjoyed it. Maybe you agree or disagree with any of us. Just let us know. And I think it's about that time of the day where we go to our sponsors of the week. Again, it could have been close, but it really wasn't at all because Jesus is still the number one sponsor of the podcast.
Big goat.
He's
big
also
dog.
a big lamb.
Big dog.
Yeah, the sacrificial lamb.
Exactly.
Yeah, we wouldn't be here without him.
Yeah.
He's the reason for the season and the reason for living.
Why would you want to live otherwise?
Yep.
Such a good point.
Yep.
Verse of the day, coming at you hot, is from 1 Timothy 6 again. Because it's just fire, man. But also, I did finish it, for those of you who are keeping track. However, when I was reading it, I was like, I want this to be next week's episode. Verse of the week.
Yep.
So it says, O Timothy, wait, this is 1 Timothy 6, 20 and 21. O Timothy, guard the deposit entrusted to you. Avoid the irreverent babble and contradictions of what is falsely called knowledge. For by professing it, some have swerved from the faith. Grace be with you. So it's crazy. In the first part of 20 here, he says, O Timothy, guard the deposit entrusted with you, which I'm starting, reading into this, I'm thinking that he's talking about the gospel. And guard the gospel entrusted to you. And by guarding it, he means tell everybody about it, which is kind of crazy. But that's really cool to just see that. And avoid irreverent babble and contradictions of what's falsely called knowledge. That's a shot at people. That's a shot at people in in the world falsely proclaiming they have all of this knowledge and falsely saying oh, I know better than you. It's no, you don't. The Lord and maker of the heavens and the earth, he's here. And Paul right here is saying, I've learned from him and you should too. Because the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. That's how Proverbs starts. And he's basically reiterating it right there at that point.
Yeah. And that's why, again, Jesus is our number one sponsor of the week.
Goat.
Another solid verse of the week by Dane. Number 2, another goat, much smaller goat, but that is Jake Trustin Art, the goat.
Small goat.
Yeah, he needs to start drawing some goats, which if you want a goat drawing from him, he can do it.
Probably
reach
could.
out to him.
He's old like a goat.
If you want a picture of the goat, LeBron James, he could draw that for you.
No.
Yeah, he could. No. But very talented, extremely grateful for him for letting us use his house to record the podcast. I haven't seen him in a while. I miss him. But one of these days, he'll be back, and maybe he'll talk on the podcast. Who knows?
Maybe.
Yeah. Number 3 sponsor, kind of an interesting one, all things considered, but Michael Phelps.
Controversial.
Yeah, he's the sponsor of Subway.
Because that's all you can get anymore.
yeah. Subway, eat fresh. But also, we
that.
talked a lot about swimming and like sports achievements earlier. And I think for most swimmers and people in general, like Michael Phelps is someone they look up to. And for non-swimmers, they're like, "Oh, you swim? Do you know who Michael Phelps is?" I'm like, "Yeah, I know who Michael Phelps is," or whatever else. And
We
like,
hang out.
"Can you name more than Michael Phelps?" You're like,
Ryan Lochte.
maybe Ryan Lochte. That's about it.
I could name him. Yeah,
But yeah, Michael Phelps, complete stud. Really kind of helped, I think, give me someone to look up to as I swam my swimming career, and also it's just really exciting watching him do his thing in the Olympics. And then the biggest part of all of this was him just being a sponsor for Subway, which is better than Jimmy John's.
Sure, but they both suck.
But yeah, that's our third sponsor of the week. Do you have any final thoughts, Dane?
Yeah, I just want to say one of our avid listeners in Michigan, Michael Barrett. I love that guy. He's super wise, and he moved to Michigan to help start a church plant up there. He's like working and also like getting the church plant off the ground, and he's younger than me, super wise. And I'm like, this guy seems to know what he's got going on.
Did you say he listens to the podcast?
He listens to it every week.
Let's go!
Yeah, every week.
I was really hoping you'd say that because otherwise that could have been awkward. Michael, you're awesome. Tell all the Michigan people to listen and tell just anybody else you can think of if you truly do enjoy this because we love you.
I love you too.
Yeah. Man.
Now I have to go potty.
And with that, this has been episode 21 of the Until Next Week podcast.
Goodbye, people.